Thank you for joining us today. My name is Tiffany Spraggins. I'm your host of Zigzag, a podcast that focuses on women who are entrepreneurs and industry leaders in the transportation, STEM, technology, and communication fields. Today, my guest is Aliya Hammond. Aliya is a social media strategist, trainer, blogger, and speaker. She specializes in social media, management, marketing, and social media training for both small and large businesses, as well as entrepreneurs, busy executives, and nonprofit organizations. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. And so, Aliya, just tell us a little bit about your journey as an entrepreneur and what brought you to your company.
Well, I started social media in 2011. I actually had another career prior to being in social media. I am actually a certified interior designer. I did interior design, corporate design for a number of years while I was in New York. And I taught design at Drexel University for a little while, and then I had my kids and I was home with them for a minute. And one day I woke up and I was like, oh, wait a minute, my youngest daughter is going to be starting school soon, and I better figure out what I want to do next, because in a second she's going to be in school and I'm going to be at home and broke with nothing to do. So I said I would start an interior design business, maybe doing some residential design out here. And I got myself into getting all of that stuff ready. And before I knew it, it wasn't quite working out, because I started at a time when the economy crashed, and also I didn't have the same contacts out here as I did in New York, so it was really a much harder build. And so then I stumbled into virtual assisting, which then led me into social media management and marketing. And I found that I really loved social media, and also people were literally throwing money at me to manage their social media accounts, so I decided to really focus on it a lot more than I was doing the interior design.
So you were doing interior designing in New York initially?
Yes.
But then you were also teaching in Philadelphia at Drexel University?
Yes, and also at another university in New Jersey as well.
Oh, wow. So you were traveling back and forth between, were you a resident?
Actually, I was living in Jersey at the time, so It's kind of like I could go both places and, still be okay with what I was doing.
Okay, wonderful. And so just tell me a little bit more about your mission at the onset of starting Aliya Hammond's Consulting.
Well, it really started off as a way for me to just make a couple of extra dollars. And as I said before, I started to focus a little bit more because people were literally throwing the money at me to do their social media, and I found that I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed spending time on social media. I loved the whole marketing component of it, and I also loved the flexibility that I had in my day, because it still allowed me to be there for my family as well.
Awesome. How many employees does Aliya Hammond Consulting actually have on board right now?
I have a team of people that work with me. I have graphic designers, web designers, got a social media manager, a blog writer, a blog manager. So I've got maybe about 4 people or 5 people that work with me.
Wonderful. And as we think about social media, what would you say is the main staple for you? Where do you get the most revenue coming in terms of social media for your business?
The most revenue coming in from my business, I would definitely say, well, I offer a lot of different services. So I offer social media management and marketing, but I also offer training, blog writing, and graphic design services, as well as web development services. But the bulk of my business definitely comes from the social media piece of it. People really just need help managing their social media so that they can focus on other avenues of their business.
Wonderful. So the bulk of your business really is you make a lot of fun revenue in training the trainer, but also having more clients ask you for those specialized services in social media is where you're bringing in a lot of revenue for the business.
Yes. And my goal for 2018 is actually to focus a little bit more on my training piece of it as well, because the training has always been there. I just didn't have the time to focus on that because I spent so much time on the social media management and marketing piece of it. And that is still, a really good piece for me with my business as well.
So tell me a little bit about how you go about advertising your business because you work primarily in social media and marketing, and how are you going about obtaining clients for your business?
A lot of my business comes from LinkedIn. I always tell people do not sleep on LinkedIn because it really is a great tool. If people are seeing you posting things about what you're doing or sharing valuable content, someone is going to reach out to you, and that has happened to me more times than I can count. I also get a lot of people who recommend me for services as well. So it's LinkedIn and I would say word of mouth. I don't really do a lot of paid advertising unless I have some kind of event or something coming up. Then maybe I'll spend a couple of bucks on Facebook, to promote the event, just to get more eyes on it.
Wonderful. My name is Tiffany Spraggins Payne. I'm the host of Zigzag, again, a podcast that focuses on women who are in the transportation, STEM, tech, and communication fields. My guest is Aliya Hammond of Aliya Hammond Consulting, and she is a social media strategist, trainer, blogger, and speaker. She specializes in social media management, marketing, and social media training for small businesses, as well as large businesses, entrepreneurs, and busy executives in the nonprofit organization. She is also the founder of Aliya Hammond Consultant, which works alongside a fantastic team of professional social media marketers, graphic designers, and writers. And so, Aliya, could you tell us a little bit more about, what attributes to your success with running your business?
I definitely think you have to be someone who is a go-getter. Someone who doesn't need somebody standing over their shoulders, trying to make them get the work done. Like, it's always about getting up, being responsible, making sure that you're meeting those deadlines so that the clients who are paying you to get that work done, that they are receiving that work and they're receiving quality work.
Wonderful. Could you tell us what is your unique or competitive advantage? Aliya Hammond Consulting, you do quite a bit. You're working with small businesses, you're working with large businesses, nonprofits, and executive leaders in business. What sets your consultancy practice aside from other social media or graphic design industries?
Well, I think because I offer a wide variety of services and also because of the level of service I provide to people, these are two things that really set me apart from other businesses. And I also think that people just enjoy working with me because I have I'm very friendly and laid back, and I love to find solutions to problems that people might be having with their own marketing challenges within their businesses.
Would you say that all of the work that you're currently doing is happening on a regional level or a local level? Is there any goal to do anything on a national scale?
I do have quite a few local clients. I have worked internationally and actually still do. I have a couple of international accounts that I work with. But most of the work right now is local. I do have a national client that I'm working with as well.
Could you give us some examples of clients that you've currently worked with?
I have in the past worked with a cancer hospital for a couple of years. I have a trucking company that I'm currently working with, and that one is actually a lot of fun. It's very different than anything else I've ever done before, especially since I didn't know anything about trucks.
Okay.
I seriously did not know that the front half of the truck was called the tractor and the back was called the trailer. But, it was the client that I'm currently working with right now. They are awesome people, and I spent 3 months working with them as a consultant, getting to know their business first before actually doing the social media, which was incredibly helpful to me, but also for them because they got an opportunity to know me and how I work as well. I have a kitchen cabinet client that I've been working with for a number of years. I have like a variety of clients that I've worked with.
Okay, why trucking?
Trucking?
Yeah, why? What was it about this particular business that you said, hey, I want to work with you, I want to support you, help you? What are you doing specifically for this trucking business?
Actually, one of the vice president of the company actually took one of my training courses, and she reached out to me and said that she wanted to maybe do some more with social media because it's not something that they had ever done before. And I love variety in my work. I love not working with one type of client or one type of industry. So I thought that it would be a great challenge and something interesting for me to continue to pursue. And some of the things I do for them would be managing their accounts, coming up with the content strategy, whatever it is we're going to post. We also do blog writing for them as well. And they're a family-friendly company. They've been around for a long time, and they're really nice people.
Would you say that you infuse entrepreneurial spirit in everything that you do, whether it be, of course, the business, but you also mentioned that you have a family, your wife, your mother. How are you balancing the business with all of your other responsibilities in life?
It is definitely not easy. It takes some serious planning and some serious dedication and knowing where everybody's going to be at any given time. So I do start my day quite early. I get up sometimes anywhere between 4:30 and 5 because the house is quiet. Everybody's still sleeping, and I can just knock out a couple of things before actually waking the kids up and getting them ready and on their day, and me driving people to school and coming back. And so when the house is quiet and everybody's gone, I'm really hustling and working during those times. And I know that when 3 o'clock comes, I got to start shutting it down because I got to put on my mom hat and get snacks ready and start getting ready to help with homework and cooking dinner and all those things. So it's a balance, but it's really I think it's organizing your time, being organized, and knowing what your day is going to be like and the things that you have coming up.
What transferable skills do you take from the business and apply to your family life specifically?
Probably my organizational skills. I definitely have to have some order, because if things are out of order in business, they're going to be out of order in the house. And it really, I think the organizational skills is probably the thing that I probably take the most.
And would you say that helps you to balance both the business and family? And let's just, call it what it is. You're a grown woman, who is stellar at what she does in terms of managing this brilliant consultancy firm and balancing the family at the same time. I'm sure you have other desires and needs to grow as a professional, as an individual outside of both business and family. What would you say the balancing act there, work-life balance, would you say that you have that?
I almost feel like I don't really have that great of a work-life balance, because I shift from the working right into mom mode and wife mode. Whatever somebody needs, I kind of try to get it done. So I think it's probably something that I'm still trying to work on myself, because I know that a lot of people struggle with this, and especially wives and mothers. We all struggle with this. So I don't think I've perfected it yet. I'm still a work in progress.
Okay. And what would be some advice that you would share or offer to another woman who is in your similar shoes? Perhaps she has a family, perhaps she has those entrepreneurial skills that she wants to take and go and move forward to launch her own business. What would be some advice that you will offer to her?
I would tell her to definitely go for it. Don't let anything stop you, because there's always going to be something there to hinder you from getting started. You just need to, just do it anyway, because you never know what's going to happen. Don't say no to any opportunities that come your way. Say yes to everything. I mean, that's my goal this year, is to just say yes to all of the wonderful opportunities that are going to be coming my way, and then see what happens. Because I know that if I say yes to something, the Lord's not going to bring me to it and then not provide me with some way to figure out how to do it. So
wonderful. In saying yes, what would you say has been the most rewarding aspects of starting your own business?
The fact that I found something that I really love doing, that I wake up every morning and I'm excited about what I do. And also that my girls get to see their mom is working. She's created a space where she is working and she's doing her own thing, and that this is something that they could do for themselves later on when they grow up, if they feel like they want to have their own business. So it's another opportunity for them. I think that being a small business owner and just being able to manage your time and being able to grow and connect with other business owners, it's a true blessing.
That's wonderful. You mentioned you have girls. How many daughters do you have?
I have 2 daughters. They are 12 and 9.
Okay, and you have a husband?
Yes, I have a husband. We've been married for 13 years, and he is my biggest supporter and my best champion. He is incredibly supportive of everything that I've ever done. I've driven him crazy.
We've all done that.
Yes, I have definitely driven him crazy, but he has really, really, really supported me in everything that I've ever wanted to do. Whatever crazy idea I might come up with, or if I need help, trying to figure something out, he is there for me. So.
That's great. One of the things we know, typically entrepreneurs who are in relationships at times can have very difficult, it can be difficult for them to balance both their platonic relationships, let alone, having partners and children. And so as we think about, you're balancing again, having a husband and children and in the business, what would you say has been some of the benefits of having started a business that's been helpful for your family?
Okay, say that again. That's a lot of information.
Yes, so, you mentioned that you have 2 daughters who essentially you're modeling for them. What does it look like to be a great mom, a great wife, a great entrepreneur who's showing them that they can literally have what they desire, whether they want to start a business for themselves and or start a family, it is totally possible, right? Mm-hmm. And so the flip side of that is what have you seen as what has been the most beneficial to your family, having you be in this particular role that you're in? Like, what has been the benefit to your family? Are you guys great at budgeting? Has the communication flow been more fluid? Do you find that you guys share great bonds with one another? Is it good for morale? What has this role that you've taken on gone from having a job to actually creating jobs?
Well, I think for my family, it has definitely helped us in terms of bonding because, like I said, my girls get to see that mom is working and that she has something that she's doing. And occasionally I do let them help me with what I'm doing. So if I need them to find some Christmas cookie recipes or something, I'll say, hey, go find some Christmas cookie recipes and pin it on this account for me. And, it helps me to kind of get some of that work done that I actually need to do. And it becomes more of a family business rather than it just being my business, because my husband does help me from time to time. So he may help me with he may help me with a contract or something, or giving me some ideas, or maybe he might recommend someone reach out to me for services. And then my girls are there, if I'm going to an event there and they just happen to be off from school, they might be handing out literature for me or something of that nature. So it really becomes more of a family bonding sort of business rather than it being just my business.
Wonderful. And could you tell us a little bit about what your husband does?
My husband, Lauren, he is in financial services. He works for a company in Horsham called Windsor Financial, and he basically helps people with their wealth management.
And how has his expertise really lent itself to the business itself? Do you see him as one of the members of the team, per se?
He is always a member of the team. I think as I mentioned before, he's my biggest supporter, and he is my salesperson. Okay. He goes out and he gets people for me. He has recommended quite a few people to me for business services.
So tell us a little bit about your background. Where did you go to school?
I went to school in New York. I went to Fashion Institute of Technology.
Okay.
And majored in interior design. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
And what skills have you borrowed from the fashion industry and actually brought into your current consultancy practice?
Actually, it's the interior design industry, not fashion. The school is Fashion Institute of Technology, but they do offer lots of different types of design. But with regard to design, I think the things that I have brought over is I have a really good design eye. So when it comes to crafting and creating posts and the graphic design, my designer knows the things that I like and that I don't like. And I tend to see things that other people don't in terms of the way something looks graphically, or something that might need to be aligned just a bit. So I think, having that design eye, does translate into the whole marketing part of it. And even, with doing logos and any kind of print material, all of that still kind of comes into play as well.
So would you say that training, if you will, in interior design really lent itself to the current work that you're doing, being detailed oriented, being creative, being able to find solutions outside of the box? Would you say that that's also helped you to have a leg up in the industry and lends itself to your competitive advantage?
Absolutely. I do think because of the training that I had in design, I think it makes, I have a lot more creativity in me. Even though people think, well, how creative could you be in social media? There's a lot of things that come into social media. It's creating the copy for the post. It's creating the image that people are going to use with that copy, so that you can get people to do what you'd like them to do, which might be to click through to the website or maybe to buy something or whatever it might be. So the whole design part of it still is there, and the whole creativity part of it is still there also.
So you mentioned your some of the content one might find when looking at your website. Could you share with us your website? Where can we find more information about you and how to connect with you and your work?
You can find me online at aliyahammond.com, and there's a lot more information about me and my company and the services that I offer. As I mentioned at the beginning of our show, I offer social media management and marketing services, social media training, graphic design, web development services, blog writing services, and if you need some consulting services, I also offer that as well.
And so for those who are at that early stage in developing their business, would you be a good fit to work with if they're really just trying to figure out, hey, do I need a logo? What does my website need to look like? Would it be beneficial for them to seek out your website and your services?
Absolutely. I work with just about everyone. I'll work with an entrepreneur as well as seasoned professionals who've been in the business for a long time, or are large scale companies. If they're in the beginning stages of their business, maybe they might need some social media training, or maybe they just need a website built. Everybody's got to start somewhere, and I definitely have something for everyone.
Thank you. And again, my name is Tiffany Spraggins Payne. I'm your host of Zigzag, a podcast that features and focuses on women who work in the transportation, STEM, tech, and communications fields. My guest today is Aliya Hammond. Aliya is a social media strategist, trainer, blogger, and speaker. She specializes in social media management, marketing, social media training, and for small and large businesses, entrepreneurs, busy executives, and nonprofit organizations. She's also the founder of Aliya Hammond Consulting, working alongside of a fantastic team of professionals who work in social media, marketing, graphic design, and writing. Prior to moving on with her career, she was a virtual world social media, and Aliya worked for a number of years in the interior design field and taught interior design at 2 major universities. Again, thank you so much for joining us today, Aliya.
Thank you for having me.
It's wonderful. And so for additional information about the Grit, you can follow us at www.theenterprisecenter.com. If you're interested in learning more specifically about the transportation industry, you can reach us at www.masbtrc. Again, I'm your host, Tiffany Spraggins Payne, and thank you for tuning in.